I, for years, did American modelling. I have an O-gauge American layout, which is stored as well. But after a while, I felt the need to do something a bit more home-based. I worked for 27 years for the British Railways Board, initially in Doncaster Works, but then for the later it was at the National Supply Centre. Being from Doncaster, I had this interest in the railways of Doncaster, the Great Northern and LNER and BR after it. And so I fancied building a layout based on that sort of theme. And one of the ideas that came to me was the long-gone systems that ran between Wakefield and Bradford, quite an intricate system of railways, provided quite a good basis to build a layout, and this is what this layout Kirkwood is based on. Hello, I'm John Medley. We're currently situated in Doncaster and District Model Railway Club's premises at Bentley, just off Bentley Road in Doncaster, quite near the town centre. Yeah, we've been in here about 5 years now, and we're flourishing, pleased to say. With the exception of that signal box, which is a card kit, everything is built using 3mm MDF or plywood and covered in plastic card, embossed plastic card. Most of the buildings in this sort of area were stone, local stone, and it's a feature of the area which I needed to portray. Again, I have many years in HO. I then decided, as that was getting more and more popular, I wanted to do something different. So I did O-gauge American, and which would have started, the layout was built about, first exhibited in 2000. This was designed about 2007, and it's been built and first exhibited in 2010. As I say, it's my first British O-gauge layout, and I've been quite pleased with it. The locos are all based on the ones run on that particular system, and it's so far been quite well accepted. I'm quite pleased with it. I still find it easier to operate having a panel than I do going through the handset. Use that purely for the locos or the movement of the trains, switch the points independently on the small panel. The panel will fit both sides, but situations like we are here, because it fitted at the front, it also works at the back because everything plugs into the middle of the layout. It was sound that convinced me to go that way. I used to do part-time work in a model shop, and one day he got in a Rocco, I think it was a Spanish diesel, and we put it on the track and it started up, and I thought, my word, that really sounds like an EMD engine, that. I like that, so I followed from there, and I found that I can fit the appropriate sound to most of my locos. When I decided to build this layout, I had every intention of making it DCC so I could put sound in all the locos. There aren't many O-gauge steam layouts that actually have the sound in them, which is a feature I wanted. All the track here is Pico. It's just standard Pico. It's flat bullhead rail, which of course is ideal for an up to 1960s layout. Moving them between shows, they get damaged. All the kind of the world that you want to use, you get damaged, you get wires coming off, you get problems. So before a show every time I set it up and we have a running session and we make sure everything works right. We read in the press that there were going to be an exhibition at Doncaster, and being the local club we thought we ought to participate. And Peter Lidster and myself, that first time we had a modelling table doing demos. The second year we had a layout. A member who was a chap who was a member then had a layout there. But on the third year, I had a meeting with Maxine Shepherd and Sally, who currently runs the exhibitions, and they asked if we could participate because they were struggling to move things around, marshal vehicles, barriers, tables, chairs, etc. And that's the story from then. And we're ongoing with that now. As I say, it'll be 20 years next year that we've been involved with Warners and the show. And we're quite proud of that, actually. We meet regularly on a Tuesday, but we have access to the premises 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We can come as often or whenever we want. So members can come down and do come down at other times to work on various projects, layouts, and tidy up as well. One thing I am considering is this end of the layout, probably extending it by another board. So put the other half of the bridge, which is now the scenic break. That back siding goes to what's intended to be a woolen mill. So we might have the boiler house of the woolen mill and served by that siding, and then into a tunnel at the far end, probably a river running underneath as well, a stream or a river, something like that. So in terms of a layout's never finished, perhaps not. Yeah.